From the onset, I want to state that I support this motion entirely without putting or proposing to put a comma or full stop on any ground that has been placed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to remind the honorable members that Clinton was almost impeached, or the impeachment attempt against Clinton in 1998 was out of the Monica Lewinsky.
Read your history properly. He was actually impeached. Exactly.
Monica Lewinsky matter. Of course, it was overturned later by the courts and other issues, but I'm saying it was out of that scandal, the very small scandal of the sexual scandal in White House. Honorable Speaker, I want first to start by proposing this question, Honorable Speaker, to honorable members. How would you feel that when you eventually transit to the next world, you are dead, that your brother or the person that you choose to entrust to take care of your wife and your children's property decides to start using those property for his own personal use? As members, how would you feel that? That is the question that honorable members should be making, should be answering themselves before they vote today, later today, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the late Governor Ndereti Gachagua passed on 24th of February 2017. Between 2017, Honorable Speaker, to 2024, it is indeed true that the late governor then, amongst Mwai, Madenge, and Njoroge, he entrusted Mr. Rigathi, the deputy president, as the executor of his will. But, Honorable Speaker, between 2017 and 2024, the property that, and this is, Honorable Speaker, is in the documents that Mwengi Mutusa has shared, Honorable Mwengi Mutusa has shared with us and tabled in this House, that between 2017 and 2024, he's been able to alter or tamper with those companies, make himself directors in some of those companies, transfer some of those properties to himself, disinherit some of the beneficiaries, the kids of the late, and put them to himself. And then one particular case, Honorable Speaker, is the Olive Garden Realtors, Honorable Speaker, that was actually altered on 2nd of March 2022, using the position of power to his own advantage, Honorable Speaker. How can you explain that? He will then tell you, Honorable Speaker, that I bought, it's willing buyer, willing seller. Really? Does it mean that all your money that you've acquired, which is also questionable, the only property that you could identify is the property that is under the care or is supposed to help the family and the widows of your late brother? How wicked can we be? Then you come in full glare of camera and tell the members of the public that please let my brother rest in peace. I decided to hold this property in trust for them, when the brother, the kids, the widows, and the daughters and sons of the late are languishing in poverty and complaining and crying. It is total shame. You cannot use your position for that. Honorable Speaker, these are practical examples, and I'm telling honorable members to acquit themselves and go through ground 7, Honorable Speaker. It is actually on page 16 to 30. This is nothing but gross violation of the law, Honorable Speaker, taking advantage of their own power, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and even to prove that, you will realize that those companies, by the time the companies were some of them were being registered, the new ones, and the time the transfer of these properties were taking place, Honorable Speaker, the whole thing is actually contemporaneous. You need not to be a rocket scientist to know that clearly this is fraud and this is this was taking advantage of the late. I want to remind the Honorable Deputy President of the good book in the book of Proverbs chapter 15, verse 25, that the Lord will tear, that's what the Bible says, that the Lord will tear down the house of the proud, but he will establish the boundary of the widow. That is why we are here today. If there is no other reason that has brought us here, Honorable Speaker, it is to protect the family that is being disinherited of their property under coercion, blackmail, and threats. If there is no other reason, Honorable Speaker. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, even it's actually biblical again. In the good book, Honorable Speaker, of the book of Exodus 22:22, that do not take advantage of the widow. Do not take advantage of the fatherless. If you do, and they cry to me, I will certainly hear their cry. And my anger will be aroused, and I will kill you with the sword. Today, we are using the sword, today here, to protect, and it is biblical, it is religious. Today, we are using the sword to impeach you, just to protect the children that are suffering, that you threatened, that you blackmailed, that you told that if you dare speak or utter a word, I am the Deputy President of Kenya, elected by 7.2 million people. I will finish you. Finish who? We will finish you today in this floor of the House. Honorable Speaker, I mean, there is nothing more for me, Honorable Speaker, on this matter. There is nothing more than cabinalism. I mean, really, like you are left under the care of the properties of your brother. Then you take them to your advantage. Your immediate brother. Then on TV you tell us that, you know, in the will, my brother gave me, and then he gave my wife, then he gave my sons. What about his children? What about his widows? What about his sons? What about, how proudly can you say that you are only enjoying the property of your brother? For that reason alone, Honorable Speaker, we say Gachagua must go. If there is no other reason, today Gachagua must go. Honorable Speaker, I relate this case with the case of, I relate this matter, Honorable Speaker, with the Spelunchian explorers case, Honorable Speaker, where the members...
Yes, Kipchumba. Timothy Kipchumba.
Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 91 on the issue of statement of facts. Honorable Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Soro to claim that the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua disinherited the wife of the late brother? Honorable Speaker, can he table the facts before this House that he disinherited?
Honorable Kipchumba. Order, Osoro. Honorable Kipchumba. Those are the facts that the move of the motion placed on the table. It appears you probably were not in the House then. Finish up, Osoro.
Honorable Speaker, I'll refer the Honorable Member to pages 16 to 30 of this very motion that was tabled in this House, Honorable Speaker. And these are facts. And I've also said that, Honorable Speaker, on this particular matter, the threshold is on the 2/3, and we're also working on the balance of probability. We are looking at this matter on how the facts relate or place themselves on the table from the transfer of the properties and also the registration of the companies. I mean, it is clear the facts are contemporaneous. Nobody, unless you don't need to be a rocket scientist to identify this whole thing, Honorable Speaker. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, for this reason, for this very reason, Honorable Speaker, I want to say that I support the impeachment. Please, let's make it early. Even if it's at 6, Rigathi Gachagua must go.
TJ Kajwang will be the last for the morning.
Mr. Speaker, just confirm to me that I can see that there is 1 minute to the hour. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I rise for a very simple reason, that if there is any member who came in this chamber believing that we or the members are going to impeach the deputy president without reason, they can listen to us and we can give them the reasons why we stand noonday to make this presentation. First of all,
Member for Machakos County, what is the problem?
What about the descending voices, surely.
The speaker has no way of knowing who is descending. Yes. Go on, Kajwang. Yes. Yes, Ngusia, what's the problem?
Mr. Speaker,
TJ Kajwang, 1 minute.
I have come to make a very small presentation as the member of Ruaraka. First of all, having seen that the motion has been signed by 291 members, this House, single constituencies are 290. If 291 have signed and will vote, Gachagua must go. Number two, we have not come here to vilify anybody. We have come here with facts, we have come here with evidence, and we have come here with the law. I want to be in a country where my son and my daughter, if he qualifies and if he's eligible, will get employment, will do business, will walk proud and tall, not because he comes from Waondo village in Nyanza, but because she or he is eligible. This politics of everybody must come from Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya. Usiguze mlima. Usiguze milima. We must show, Mr. Speaker, that this country is for us all. We must show, Mr. Speaker, that there are no people who are entitled more than the others. That there are people who fought for Mau Mau more than the others. Or that there are people who are more populated than others. And so, this idea that they work for Kenya Kwanza government and that they must eat, it is their time to eat. This deputy president his mentality is that he got votes for President Ruto, and so it is his time to eat. For that reason only, I would vote, because I want a situation after we are through with elections, everybody, including me, is served, because I pay taxes like everybody else. For the deputy speaker to go to...
Wamchomba. There's a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, is the member on the floor?
Which order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm addressing Mr. Speaker. You are not the Speaker. I am addressing Mr. Speaker. Stop heckling. You are not the Speaker. I'm addressing the Speaker.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, is the member Honorable Kajiang in order to say that there is a mentality that the deputy president has a mentality to eat? Does he have any gadget to measure mentality? Is that a fact? Can you prove? Can you prove that there is a mentality? Which gadget do you use to measure mentality?
Go on.
Check. Mr. Speaker, first of all, pronounce my name properly. I'm not Gachagua. I am Kajwang, not Kanjwang. Number two, Mr. Speaker, this is a problem. Everybody, I heard them call it Raira, Kanjwang. Some of you must learn that we are in a country for everybody. Nobody is powerful than the other. Nobody comes from a section of community. Today we will show that this country is for everybody. Mr. Speaker, there must be hygiene in leadership. There must be hygiene. You cannot trade with government, and you are the deputy speaker. Deputy president. Sorry. You cannot trade with government, and then you are the deputy president. You cannot trade with government and you are a state officer. Even you who are sitting here, stop trading with government.
So that you only have one work, which is an elected member of this house. So evidence has been laid before us. And we are clear on page 16 of this evidence that him and his family, first of all, he thinks that his family, it is all right if his family trades with the government. He has not read the Leadership and Integrity Act. You yourself, your wife, your mother, your son, your daughter must not trade with government so that we allow enterprises to grow out there. Mr. Speaker, only on that basis, I think that there is a situation here which we must save. The third one, Mr. Speaker, he is principal assistant to the president. If we don't deal with this thing today, all vice presidents or deputy presidents will think that the president is age mate. There must be a distinction between a president and a deputy president. This one, at least the president has allowed him to chair the cabinet. At least the president has allowed him to be the chairman of IBEC. Now, well, the law has allowed him to be the chairman of IBEC. What would happen if, as the chairman of IBEC, he is only giving budget allocations to people from Mrema? What would happen if he is the chairman of IBEC only giving budget allocations to people of his family? Mr. Speaker, the last thing I want to say, this presidency as it is so dysfunctional that even if we left it today, there would be a problem in presidency in such a manner that would undermine national integrity and national security. I don't need the information. I just have 1 minute to go.
Thank you. Finish up.
Yes,
Finish up.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, we are not going to impeach him because of what that speaker had talked about, that we are lynching or that is a mob. We have carefully considered, and the law is that we are not talking about civil liability or culpability. We are talking about accountability. We are talking about political governance and political responsibility. And so all those things that he has said out there, he must take responsibility for. And we are politicians. We are not a court of law. He will be tried in Senate. Ours is just to initiate this process. And the Senate will ask very pertinent question. He is saying that all these things he got from his brother and so on. They will investigate and find out, did he pay tax for them? When he filed his report and said that he's worth so much, did he say that he also got something from his brother? Now, no, it is not here. You don't know. These things are asked in the Senate. It is the Senate that is the trial chamber and the investigating. So the Senate will also ask his return forms. He's also re-asked the KRA forms if this information are consistent. And so, in all the evidence that I've seen, in all the charges I've seen, I return a verdict that Gachagua must do what? Gachagua must do what? Gachagua must do what?
Order, members, will you be upstanding? Order, honorable members. It is now 1:09, and the House stands adjourned until 2:30 this afternoon.